Hello everyone, you're here with Goran from Pickdawgz. Thank you for joining me here, and we are here to talk about some EPL free picks from Saturday, January 21st. We have 6 EPL games on the schedule, guys, so stay tuned. We got a lot of free winners to come, and of course, we have some Serie A, we have some Bundesliga as well, the league that is finally back. And we have a few La Liga picks as well, so make sure you subscribe to the Pickdawgz YouTube channel. Hit that like button, guys, and of course, feel free to leave a comment at any time, and I will be more than happy to reply and to answer any questions you might have. As far as my best bets goes, go to the Pickdawgz website, go to the previous section and see what I have up there. Get that 3-day pass that will get you covered all the way through the weekend, or possibly even a 7-day pass, because we have games pretty much every day of the week now. So check it out, guys. Like I said, we are here to talk about the EPL on Saturday, guys, and we are kicking it off with this early matchup between Liverpool and Chelsea. Two teams in a dire need of a win, especially Liverpool, the team that has only one win in their last 4 games, while not winning any of their last 2 EPL games, and that is definitely a problem for them because they're sinking deeper and deeper and further away from the Champions League spot. They're now in 9th place with 28 points, while Chelsea is in 10th spot with only 28 points as well. We have two teams, like I said, in a dire need of a win. But if I have to pick a team here, the team that has been improving slowly, it has been Chelsea, I gotta say. And they did get a win against Crystal Palace in the EPL last week. Liverpool had a midweek game as well. It was against Wolverhampton in the FA Cup, and they were able to get a 1-0 win, which will certainly be a nice confidence boost for this team and a nice addition to their solid record at home, where Liverpool has lost only 1 game so far. They have won 6 and they have 2 draws as well. When we look at the injury list for both teams have a lot of missing players. Liverpool is missing Luis Diaz, Arthur, Diogo Jota, Firmino, Van Dijk, and Darwin Núñez as well, while Chelsea is missing a boatload of players, and at least half of those players that are on the injury list would be in the starting lineup for Chelsea. They did make a few signings over the week, and definitely they need all the quality, all the depth they can get out of those players, and they have to keep playing well if they want to get closer to that Champions League spot. Like I said, both teams need a win here. Both teams need points, but with the way these two teams have been playing defensively, I just don't see either of them keeping a clean sheet. Liverpool has done a solid job at home so far this season. Chelsea got a win against Crystal Palace at home. Now they got to do it on their own against this Liverpool team, the team that's been missing a few players, the team that's been kind of sloppy defensively. And for that reason, guys, I'm going with both teams to score at minus 141 in this one. It's the early matchup in the EPL. Not sure if I'll have any previews from this game, but I will take a swing at both teams to score at minus 141. The next game we have, guys, is between Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest. Bournemouth is in terrible form. They are in 17th place with only 16 points, and they are now on a 6-game losing streak, which is a problem when you're fighting to stay above the relegation zone. And it's a problem because they're facing Nottingham Forest, who are their pretty much direct competitors to stay out of the relegation zone. Offensively, neither of these two teams have done well so far this season. Nottingham has only 15 scored goals. Bournemouth has 18 scored goals. However, Nottingham Forest has been doing a better job of playing and defending and scoring goals as of late, and that is going to be a huge advantage for them. Because Bournemouth has conceded 41 goals so far this season, and that is the worst defensive performance of any clubs, of all the clubs so far in the EPL. Like I said, we barely have the offense between these two teams, and the defenses have done a horrible job so far this season, and both teams have a lot of injuries as of right now, especially Bournemouth, which is kind of reflecting their current form as well. So this is going to be a game where both teams will have to go for the win, especially Bournemouth, because they need it. They are desperate for it. At least they can do is get to the scoreboard, to be honest, and whether or not they can defend against Nottingham Forest, despite their bad offensive form. I don't think they can. So I honestly see both teams getting on the scoreboard here as well, guys, and we are getting that at even money. And this is simply the price I cannot pass up. I'm taking both teams to score in this Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest matchup as well. The next one we have is between Leicester and Brighton, and this one should be very fun, guys, because last, I believe, 8 games Brighton has played have gone over 2.5 goals. They are scoring a lot. They are coming off of a massive win against Liverpool, 3-0 at home. They destroyed Liverpool in that game. They didn't let them breathe. They didn't let them create any chances. They defended extremely well, and the chances that Brighton created in that game, they made use of it, and they scored those 3 goals in the second half. Like I said, guys, Brighton's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 games have gone over 2.5. That's 13 games in a row. They have scored an impressive 12 goals in their last 3 games, while conceding only 2. And their only loss in their last 5 games was against Arsenal in the EPL. Leicester, on the other side, did get a win against Gillingham in the FA Cup last week, or a couple of weeks ago, but since then they lost to Nottingham Forest 2-0 on the road, and they lost to Newcastle as well. And in those 2 games they haven't scored a single goal. Now, can Leicester get to the scoreboard here? I have no idea. They have been so inconsistent this season. It's been very horrible to watch even. But with the way Brighton has been playing lately, I think that Brighton alone can get us over 2.5, to be honest, guys. And I'm going to take it. I'm going to take over 2.5 in this one at minus 137. I think it's a pretty solid price on the over. And as we've seen, it doesn't take a lot for teams to go over. One sloppy foul inside the box, you get a penalty kick. And with the way Leicester has been defending this season, I mean, Brighton has been scoring a lot of goals, and I think they scored at least 2, if not 3, on the road in this game. So I'm taking over 2.5 in this one, guys, as well. The next game we have is between Southampton and Aston Villa, guys. Southampton has finally gained a momentum. They're finally doing something out of their season, and they are now on a 3-game winning streak. Their last game was a nice win against Everton on the road in the EPL. It was a 2-1 win. Just before that, they have beaten Manchester City and Crystal Palace. And like I said, they're finally doing something. They have finally gained a momentum, and it's finally time for them to move off of that single win at home they have up until now in the EPL this season. Aston Villa, they are performing better. They are doing a solid job. They are improving their form. Yes, they're still not as safe as they would like to be. They had a decent performance against Leeds United last week. They won 2-1 in that game. But as we saw in that game, when put under pressure, they tend to make mistakes. They tend to lose focus, and at the moment, they don't have the offense to kind of compensate for those mistakes. I think that at the moment, Southampton is the better team here. I think that they're performing better in that attacking end, and I think that's going to be key for this game. So Aston Villa might be a slight favorite here, but honestly, I think that Southampton can get at least the draw here. I'm not going to try to push this game. I think I'm going to pair this with something else in the double. I'm going to take Southampton on the double chance at minus 182, guys. I think that this is Southampton's game to lose, and if you like value, I would definitely swing at Southampton on the money line at plus 190. I think it's worth a shot for half a unit or so, because with the way they have been playing and the streak they are on right now, I think Southampton has a very good chance of getting another win here and then extending that nice winning streak. And the last 2 games of the EPL, guys, the afternoon games, it's gonna be between West Ham and Everton. I believe that's the 12:30 game. No, actually, it is a 10 a.m. game still. We have 2 very struggling teams, 2 teams fighting to get out of the relegation zone, and I think that whoever loses this game will fired their head coach. So it's either going to be, I think, Moyes, or it's going to be Frank Lampard from Everton. We have two teams that have scored only 15 goals so far this season in 19 games. Both teams have 15 points. Both teams are in the relegation zone in 18 and 19 place. And whoever gets the win here will get out of the relegation zone, at least for the moment. But honestly, I think this one could go either way. I'm gonna stay away from the sides in this one because both teams are in horrible form, and both teams have quite a few injuries right now, which is why I decided to stay away from sides, to be honest. And I have simply decided to go with over 2.5 goals. The books are not seeing that, to be honest, because the price is plus 110. But I usually love to take a swing on the over when I see a price like that. When we have two teams in desperate form, two teams in a desperate need of a result of points, and two teams that definitely need a positive result to get out of the slump here. I think this should be an entertaining matchup, and for that reason, I'm going to go with over 2.5 at plus 110. I think it's definitely worth a shot, guys. The last game of the day in the EPL is Saturday, guys, is between Crystal Palace and Newcastle. Newcastle is back on the winning track after getting that late win against Fulham, 1-0 at home. And the good news for Newcastle is that they haven't conceded a single goal in their last 2 games. They have been defending well, and they are definitely a much better team here. The team that has been doing an outstanding job so far this season, and the team that is now in 4th place in the EPL standings, which is still a Champions League spot. Defensively, Newcastle is the best team in the league with only 11 conceded goals, and now they're facing Crystal Palace, the team that hasn't been scoring a lot, the team that averages less than 1 scored goal per game, and this will definitely gonna be a huge battle for Crystal Palace here. Now, they did score a late goal against Manchester United in midweek, which got them a draw. But I think they might be a bit tired after that game because Newcastle has had a few days extra to rest and prepare for this game. And honestly, I'm not sure we can miss out on the price we are getting here on Newcastle. So I'm simply gonna go with Newcastle on the money line. It's minus 117 right now. They are a much better team here, far more consistent so far this season, and they need to keep winning. They need to stay consistent to get to that Champions League spot, to stay there, and to qualify for the Champions League, because that is pretty much their main goal this season, and I, for one, would love to see that happen. So I'm taking Newcastle on the money line here. I know that streak has to stop, has to end at some point, but for as long as they're playing this well and for as long as they're winning games, I'm going to side with Newcastle. So minus 117 on Newcastle on the money line. That's it, guys. These were your free picks for the EPL on Saturday, January 21st. Like I said, we have 6 games. We have a lot more games to come from the other European leagues. So check it out, guys. Check out the rest of the free picks up on up on the Pick Dawgz YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you guys soon with more free winners.